A penal colony, maximum security prison, and electric shock torture. This is how Belarusian dictator Alexander Lukashenko and his regime treat political prisoners. One of them was Belarusian oppositionist Juraś Jankovic. After 4 years, thanks to the efforts of Donald Trump's administration, he was able to leave his prison in Belarus. 11 years in a maximum security prison. This was the sentence handed down to Juraś Jankovic in 2021. A Belarusian with an American passport, he is a lawyer and opposition activist. For Lukashenko, personal power is the ultimate goal. He will kill people. He will do anything to stay in power. Jankovic was arrested in Moscow. He was accused of planning a military coup. He spent the first 2 months in a penal colony. The concept of a penal colony may not be as literal as with the old punishment of exile to Siberia, where there were barbed wire fences and guard towers. It is a form of prison with a stricter regime. He was sent from the penal colony to a prison. Maximum security prisons in Belarus can change a person. Both of these photos show Juraś Jankovic. They were taken only 2 years apart. The hardest part was the complete isolation. For 4 years, I had no contact with my family. During the last year, no lawyer was allowed to visit me because that is a means of communication. I received the first and last letter from my wife in August 2021, and I was never allowed to call my family or my wife. That was a blow to the psyche. As for physical blows, Jankovic was subjected to electric shock torture. I suspect that the deputy prison director was trying to explain to me that I was behaving badly, that he was the authority there, that I should shut up and follow all his orders. What keeps a person going in such conditions? I had 3 tools. First, I learned Spanish. Second, when I was in solitary confinement, I kept my mind on math. And third, something very important, Christianity, the Bible. Jankovic spent 4 years in a Belarusian prison. He was released in April thanks to the intervention of Donald Trump's administration, whose policy towards Belarus is actively supported by Juraś Jankovic. Thanks to the president's leadership, Belarus has released another wrongfully detained U.S. citizen. No president has done so much so quickly to keep Americans safe abroad. In just 100 days, we've also secured the release of 47 unjustly detained Americans around the world, including in Afghanistan, Russia, and Venezuela, through high-level diplomatic efforts. After talks with Lukashenko, the U.S. president announced negotiations on the release of all political prisoners of the Belarusian regime. We are keeping our fingers crossed that these 1,300 people will be released in the near future, including Andrzej, and that we will be able to meet him soon. He is referring to Andrzej Poczobut, a journalist, friend of Juraś Jankovic, and, like him, a political prisoner. They were held in the same prison. From what I know, because the prison administration did not provide much information about it, he's being held in a prison in Mogilev. Andrzej Poczobut has been in a Belarusian prison since March 2021. He was sentenced to 8 years. First and foremost, he is a prisoner because he is Polish. This is a blow to Poland, which has been going on for several years now. It is very sad that the Polish government is doing nothing to get Poczobut out of prison. For Lukashenko, political prisoners are a tool for instilling fear in Belarusian society. Lukashenko is not a rational person. He is concerned with maintaining power, so he will fight for that power, regardless of who it is, whether it is Putin, Trump, or anyone else. He will fight to the last Belarusian. He will kill people. This is even more so after the events of 2020, when he rigged the presidential election. Belarusians tried to say enough is enough and took to the streets, but the dictator managed to remain in power. Belarusians have renounced their obedience to lies and terror. Society has had enough, to put it bluntly. Lukashenko could not afford any breach in the system he has built over the years, and that is why the society that said no was immediately pacified. That is why Trump's mission to free all political prisoners may prove extremely difficult. Lukashenko, who is heavily dependent on Moscow, is fighting for his physical existence, and I am not sure if he would be able to decide on such a move so quickly. There are still about 1,300 political prisoners in Belarus.